different people writing that genealogy. And I don't think it's something that you want to rely on with any great certainty. Genealogies are there to be manipulated to some extent. Sometimes they're accurate, and sometimes they're not. So here's the question I pose you. If Miriam is Moses' sister, and Aaron is a brother, why doesn't line 20 say, Miriam, Moses' sister? Or Miriam, Moses, and Aaron's sister? Why does, I mean, it's chapter 15. The text knows that Miriam is Aaron's sister. Okay, I accept that. There's a tradition that Miriam, whoever she is Aaron's sister. Why doesn't it say Moses' sister? Because I don't think at this point the text knew that they were in the same family line. Later on, it's stitched into the same family. That's my conclusion. I may be wrong. I don't hold you to that. But, you know, one wants to do interesting things here, and you can read the text as it stands. You don't need my help to read a text. So my interest would be to try to point out things you may not see. Okay, so we have grumbling, line 25, and this famous episode here of the quails, chapter 16. I'm trying to find something that would be, you know, uniquely interesting here. Moses said to Aaron, line 9 of 16, the whole community present themselves before the Lord or Yahweh. I've heard complaints of the sons of Israel, between the 2 evenings you shall eat meat, in the morning you shall have bread to your heart's content. So this seems fine here. They have the quail, and I've been in the Negev and the Sinai, and I have seen quail there. Particularly in the winter months when the storms come in from the Mediterranean, the storm clouds blow in, and they blow in flocks of quail from the Mediterranean that are either going south or north, depending on which part of the season it is. And you see them in the bushes running around. They're not there permanently. They're on their way in a migratory pattern, but they're there. Nice gray and blue quail. And I've seen them. And they're there. So that's somewhat accurate. But, you know, I think one of the Psalms, I don't know which one, condemns this. That they weren't supposed to eat the quail or something like that. And then in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's a very big point in one of the chief documents of the scrolls that they ate blood and they consumed blood in the wilderness. It's not in here, but that's what the accusation is. And that's why they were cut off, supposedly. And no generations made it to the Holy Land. I don't know where they got that from in the Dead Sea Scrolls, because there's no condemnatory feeling here at this point. In fact, it's a blessing at this point. Again, I'm not sure. I used to have a note of where the quails were. Let me just say, I have a note here, Numbers 11:31. Let's see what that says. Maybe it's there. Numbers 11:31. I know it's in one of the Psalms too. And the wind came and drove the quails in from the sea, I told you, and brought them down in the camp. And they gathered them, yeah, here it is. And God's anger blazed out against the people, and Yahweh struck them with a great plague. Line 33. It's too bad we don't have time to read all these books, but we just don't in a class like this. So there it is. There's a different approach. And it would be great to read Numbers, because you see it's got overlapping material. It's got Moses and Aaron and Miriam and different things like that. And I just wish that I had time to read all of that with you. And I'm going to have to leave you to do that on your own, on the rest of your life, if you're interested still in these things. And you've got other things that you can look at yourself as carefully as you want. Okay, we have to pick and choose a bit. Here's another interesting point. Chapter 17. The battle with the Amalekites. This is 17:8. And notice the picture of this battle. Moses said to Joshua, pick out men for yourself, and tomorrow morning march out to engage Amalek. Who's Joshua? We never met him before. We know who he is because he's so famous. But the text assumes you know who he is. But in fact, he hasn't been introduced to us yet. That's the first introduction of Joshua into the text. Now, I think if you look at Numbers, you might find some more parallel material there. I don't understand. I don't have time to do that with you, but I'll let you guys do some extra reading if you feel like it. If you find some good material there, call my attention to it when you come in another time, either in terms of what the narration is here, supporting it, gainsaying it, differing from it, diverging from it. It'd be interesting. I think Numbers is more detailed, but we just can't do it all. So let's see if there's anything just in that one area. What was that? Numbers 11:31. Let's see. We've got the usual appointment of this is consecration of the Levites here. Passover, order of march, different things like that, rebellion of Israel. God, Numbers is just another really interesting book here with all kinds of Aaron's portion, and so I don't know if Joshua comes into play here to any extent. Here's Joshua towards the end here. Joshua, the head of the community, in chapter 27. So towards the end, he comes into play. These things are firmly fixed in the Hebrew people's imagination. Joshua is a firm hero of the leading through these episodes. So there must have been other books here that parallel this, that told people information or material that the editors cut out that shouldn't have been cut out, because we don't know in line 8 who Joshua is. I think that's true. Now look at the picture though. This is really interesting. So they were fighting people down in so it's already a military situation. These are not just a bunch of stragglers. These are people who have to fight. This is an army to some extent. And here's how this is a Elohist version. You see it's the staff of God Moses has. Once again, notice Moses has the staff of God, and that can really help. The staff of God can. And so Joshua's down in the plain. He's the military general. Moses and Aaron and Hur are on top of the mountain. I'm not even sure we've met Hur yet. But Hur is, if you look at your genealogies and you go into the book of Joshua, you'll find that Hur is a Judahite leader. So we have everything represented here. We have a Judahite leader, the south. We have a northern leader, Joshua, who is an Ephraimite. He is from